Alright, so today we've got something a little bit different. We're going to be taking a look at some driver coaching. Now, obviously, I'm not the one doing the coaching. I was the student. The coach was a guy called Sergey, who you might have heard in one of the voice chat videos. He works for Pitskill, I believe. I think he's a staff member with them. And yeah, also offers coaching services. Now, I'll be honest, I went into this kind of with a bit of a pessimistic view of coaching. I didn't tell Sergey this beforehand, but my viewpoint was kind of, I already know, or at least I think I know, how to go fast. It's just actually doing it that's hard. So having someone just tell me like what you need to do to go fast, I kind of thought, it's not going to be that useful. Like, there's already tons of videos on YouTube that give you general sim racing tips. And I thought I understood most of them, and I thought I knew what to do. But as you'll see from the results at the end of this video, I think the coaching definitely helped a lot more than I thought it would. The way we did this was kind of as an experiment, not like scientific or anything, as you'll see, but basically the last 5 rounds of the league I have done just on my own without any coaching. And then just as the kind of week of the final league race was starting, we did this coaching session to see like if it actually helped me improve in the league race compared to where I finished in all the other league races. And yeah, for this one, we were focusing just on one track. I'm sure if you asked a coach for just more general tips, they could give you those as well. But for this one, we're just focusing on Misano, which is the track we were going to do for the league race. But yeah, with all that said, let's take a look at some snippets from the coaching session. The first thing we did was go through a replay. So I just did like 10 laps and then took the fastest one and sent the replay file along with the Motec data to Sergey, and then we went through that together.
Yeah, here it's a matter of cutting a little bit more everything. Like, use the curbs for the rotation. You see here you miss the apex, and you see you have to go over the curb. When you go over this curb, you will notice suddenly the car kind of like the wheels stay in the curb and the car rotates more. But here it's the same. You want to go over this curb.
Okay, more than that.
My left tires are on the curb.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. Always use as much track as you need, as you can. Even if you don't need it, because if you don't need it means you were too slow. So the next time you go faster until you need the whole track. It's a little bit of trying to force your muscle memory to say, oh, I was too slow here. Of course, if you don't use the whole, like if you go here and you think, oh, I cannot go out on the curb and stuff, then you feel already that you're on the limit because you're trying to go on the limit of the tires to just not go too much over that curb. If you let the car use the track limits, then suddenly it's like, oh, I kind of felt slow because my car was not like, the tires didn't feel on the limit, So it's like, it's not the way of, push as much as you can and then see if you manage to stay in the limits. It's like, aim for being as close to the track limits as you can and then adapt your speed so that the car is actually also on the limit when using all the track limits.
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it.
You can use more curb on the outside.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what the track limits were for this one, to be honest.
As long as the right-hand side tires are on the curbs, you're fine. You cannot just don't touch the sand.
Okay. Good advice.
Yeah. Yeah, that's you need more inside curb here.
Yeah, I've been surprised before how much you can cut of that.
The green part,
yeah,
up to the
yeah.
green part. It's always up to the green part. Yeah, I know. I don't know if you noticed, you didn't break 100% here. Not sure if that was on purpose.
No, I thought I did. Oh yeah, it's just creeping up.
Almost 100%, but didn't. So at least at the beginning, you want to be 100% in most corners.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a hard braking straight. Okay, here. This you can gain so much time here.
I feel so bad on this bit. I always have to lift, like I can never do it flat. Oh, so you cut that one quite a bit as well?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I've never really cut that one.
You cut everything at Misano.
Yeah, that feels nicer already, just cutting more of that. And this bit, I don't know if my setup's just bad. I can't go flat around there.
Okay, try again. full throttle. Don't lift.
I didn't lift, but I got a lap invalidated. No, I had to lift.
Earlier turning in. Yes.
And then more on that one.
Cut. More. You could even more.
It's so nice opening that corner up there. No, I didn't think you could use any of that green stuff on the left.
Yeah.
So I'm always like just spinning the wheels in first because I'm turning so tightly coming out of there.
Nice.
Oh, that was all. As if you can get away with that. Oh, and then I braked.
Just a little bit earlier braking because you were faster now.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, that was a little too close.
Oh, that was too much.
I'm finding that so hard to get the balance right of too much or too little. Oh yeah, those sausages aren't too bad, are they?
Yes. Nice. Nice. Yes, very good.
Oh yeah, that's nicer. And that sets you up way better for that one, doesn't it? Yeah, like you say, I'm coming in faster, so I can't use my normal braking point. Oh, I had a tiny lift. That was better though. Oh, we're a second and a half up. That might be my new PB.
And there were some mistakes.
Yeah.
Cut. Yes.
Yeah, so that time I just slammed on the brake pedal.
And now you lock the tires actually.
Oh, I had to have a tiny lift. This is a tiny one.
I'm gonna be fair. You can go full throttle. It's really need to nail the timing. So don't be afraid of lifting a little bit.
That's legal, apparently.
Yes. Totally.
Alright, this will be a new PB then. 4/10 up.
You can definitely go faster.
Can you cut all that? You can.
Yes, come on.
Yeah, we're 3/10 up in that sector alone. Is that legal? It is.
Yes.
It's wild.
Come on.
Oh, I had to short shift there.
You could even cut more there. You could have even cut more there.
Oh, God.
The limit of the truck limits.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a bit sketch. Oh no, we were 3/10 off. I invalidated it on the last corner.
Oh shit. All right, but let's send me the telemetry.
Yep.
Let's analyze that because we can get some insights there.
That was good though to go that much faster already.
And there's still you saw it. Now that's the thing. You know where to improve. So of course you need practice because it's not you need to build your muscle memory, but you know what exactly are your mistakes, where to concentrate on. And you know when you do something, okay, this is the right way to do, and this is all right. So this is a lap that I have some pro alien lap. I opened it. It's just one lap, 32.2. So yeah, proper alien.
Yep.
Here, these buttons here, you choose like which one you show, and to compare, you just choose the other one.
Okay.
With F3, you basically see the variance, the accumulated variance. So it's a nice way to see, okay, here you lost, for example, from here, like this is the first corner, to here, you basically lost 6/10 in the first set of corners.
Okay.
You're up to 70 kph, and they are around 90, so 20 kph difference at this corner. So you can look at the track report, and this is
Oh yeah, the big sort of hairpin. Yeah.
here you can see they stay actually, okay, like I was doing, they stay in second gear. They don't go into first gear. Maybe that's why it gives you the impression, oh yeah, but it rotates better. Yeah, because it slows you down too much.
Yeah, you don't actually need the slowing down.
Yeah, hook up the inside curb, get the rotation there. The braking point is good, but you see, you keep on the brakes longer.
Way longer.
So they start trailing
Yeah.
earlier. You see the pressures, how they evolve. Because sometimes when you see a pressure, it's just like, okay, I watch it at one point. But sometimes it varies, like Paul Ricard or whatever, you have long straights and it goes up and down massively. And then you think, oh, I need to put more clicks. No, look at the average, like try to maintain everything between the limits that you want to be.
Yeah, that would have been useful for like Bathurst. I was just checking it on the straights, and like you say, it's quite different to when you're in the middle of the mountain section.
Yeah. Also, sometimes, okay, where do you want to be okay with the temperature? For example, at Spa, you want to have enough pressure for Puon, but until Puon, they're going super low because you only have left-handers, the straight left-handers mostly and stuff, and then suddenly Puon comes and your right wheels are super low. But then when you cross the line and check the temperature, say, yeah, that's pretty fine. I don't know, 20. It's like 27.6, 27.7, whatever. It's fine. But then actually, if you looked at Puon, you would be like 27.1. It's like, oh shit. You probably need to reduce a little bit the brake ducts. And exactly for that, you can use Motec to see, okay, how much can I actually reduce them?
Yeah, like
because
what?
Maybe
How do you know what sort of temperature to aim for, though?
you aim for the tires to be between 75 and 90 degrees.
Okay.
And for the brakes to not go over 650 in the front, 450 in the rear.
Okay, so that was a few clips from the coaching session. Obviously, I'm not going to show like the full hour-long session, but there was a few random little bits and bobs there that hopefully you found useful. I think the main thing for me was just cutting more of the corners. As you could probably tell, that was a bit of a theme, was just cut more of every corner pretty much. And you might be thinking, well, you could have just picked that up from a track guide. Like if you watch a track guide, they tell you which corners to cut and where the track limits are, that sort of stuff. Trust me, I've watched plenty of track guides, and for some reason it just doesn't click as much watching someone else say that as it does when you're in a session with someone and they're following you and you cut the corner as much as you think you can get away with, and they're there saying, nope, cut it more. Like that's what really helped for me, was just having Sergey like follow me around or me following him and just seeing exactly how much you can get away with. And it completely transforms some of the corners, especially like on the runoff, on the way out of a corner. Once you know that you've got more runoff to play with, like quite a lot more in some cases than I thought, it just changes the corner because now you can get on throttle way earlier than you thought without worrying about it. But yeah, after that, I basically just did a bit of practice each day. I would say probably about an hour on average each day of just hot lapping on my own and tweaking the setup and just doing more laps and practicing. And just gradually improving. It's obviously still a very gradual process. We knocked quite a lot off my personal best just in that coaching session with Sergey. I think my previous best was like a 35.8 or something, like a high 35. So yeah, we already got it down to like a 34.6, which was pretty impressive just for 1 hour of coaching. And then yeah, it would gradually come down. It's not like, every day I knocked another couple of tenths off it. But yeah, it gradually came down. So then on the day of the league race, I did some practice in the same conditions that the race and the qualifying were going to be in. And I did this 34.0, almost into the 33s. Now, I think a lot of that was just due to the conditions being a bit more favourable. It was definitely colder because the race was a little bit later on in the day. So yeah, I'm sure that helped. But even so, 34.0, I'm pretty happy with that. So then we got to the actual league race, and in qualifying I managed to do a 34.4 was my best, which is a bit of a shame not to get the 34.0 that I got in practice, but whatever, it was still enough for pole position. So my first ever pole position, previous best was third in Bathurst, and then all the other rounds I was just nowhere. And then for the race itself, there was a bit of a hiccup at the start, a bit of confusion with the whole green box thing. It didn't seem to line up for everyone. Long story short, I basically lost the first place before we even got to turn one, and then just couldn't quite catch back up. The guy had just kind of slowly eked out a tenth here and there, and I just couldn't keep up. So we ended up finishing in second, which was still by far my best finishing position of the whole season. So let's take a look on the Pitskill website at my results for the whole season. And let me just zoom in here. Hopefully you can kind of see what's going on. So this is me. These first 3 races I did 0 practice for and did pretty badly. This was where I started actually practicing for each race. So like doing a few hours of practice beforehand, dialing everything in. And yeah, finished a lot higher up at Kyalami. Bathurst, I did qualify 3rd. I did loads of practice. Qualified 3rd and then just had a stupid little moment and crashed and ended up right at the back. So that one should have been a bit higher. And then this is where we started getting the coaching and finished in 2nd place. And I'll be honest, I think even though this was kind of on an upwards trajectory, again, if this should have been a bit higher, this would have been like 8 points and then 12 points. So then you might naturally think, oh, okay, well, yeah, then you get even better. Without the coaching, I don't think there's any way I would have qualified on pole. And I don't think there's any way I would have finished 2nd. Like, just knowing all those little extra bits you could cut made such a difference. And like I say, I wasn't picking that up from just watching other people's track guides. So yeah, for me personally, even though I did put a lot of practice in as well, it's not like, just one coaching session and then boom, just qualify on pole. Like, there was a lot of hard work put in after the coaching session, but I think without the coaching, there's no way I would have got there. So yeah, based on my experience, I would say it's totally worth it to get coaching. Obviously, the worse you are, the more you're going to gain from coaching. Like if you're already an alien setting insane times, I think you probably still get something from coaching because like just having a second pair of eyes looking at your laps and your data, there's bound to be something that they can notice that you haven't noticed yourself. So I'm sure it's worth it no matter what level you're at. But I think if you're a complete beginner or someone like me who's not a beginner but not a pro, I think we're the people that benefit from it the most. So yeah, like I said, I would definitely recommend it. I'll leave a link to Sergey's contact form in the description. So if you want to book a coaching session with him, just use that. Obviously, he's the only coach that I've had any experience with, but he was a real nice guy. And like I say, helped me a lot. So I'd definitely recommend him. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. Hope you guys learned something like I did and hope you found it interesting.